as I'm sure you guys all know, it's all the rage now to, ban Russian athletes, Belarusian athletes. Remember, we just had the FIFA World Cup, one of the best World Cups in history. It was absolutely amazing. But the Russians were banned, right? FIFA just banned them from competing. And then, of course, in terms of tennis, this first started with Wimbledon, right? And Wimbledon, they really shot themselves in the foot. They lost a lot of their prestige. They got fined for it because they decided to ban Russian and Belarusian athletes. In the beginning, I think it was, if you're a Russian tennis player and you want to come compete in Wimbledon, you have to publicly denounce Putin. And, obviously, on the one hand, they say he's a dictator and you're not allowed to criticize him, but please criticize him and put yourself in danger for us. So what a contradiction. And you had people who did it, and even after going through this ridiculous ritual of publicly denouncing Putin just so you can compete in Wimbledon, they still banned Russian players and Belarusian players anyway. It's not just them who did that, okay? But just to show you how stupid this is, despite these bans, look what happened. Look who won the Grand Slam. It's a Belarusian player, Sabalenka. And she's the first neutral. So basically, even though she won the Grand Slam, she wasn't allowed to put her own country's name on the trophy. And she's not allowed to display a flag. Okay? I mean, this is so ridiculous, right? And again, we're talking about the Australian Open. So I'm going to get to Australia in another aspect in a second, because Australia and Djokovic is another thing I wanted to talk about. Let me play you this video and just listen to what she had to say here.
Did missing Wimbledon make this any sweeter for you, that this victory comes and you're able to play a slam and win a slam like this in this kind of fashion?
I mean, missing the Wimbledon was really tough for me, and it was a tough moment for me. But I mean, I played US Open after, and it's not about Wimbledon right now. It's just about the hard work I've done, and yeah, it's just about the hard work I've done.
Okay, James?
Irina, you said on Friday that if you won, you'd say what it was like to win as a neutral athlete. So I'm asking that question again, I guess. Is it strange to win it and not have your flag somewhere, or not have BLR after your name on the trophy? Does that take anything away from it?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
You're not allowed to have Belarus anywhere in the stadium,
okay.
And I wonder if that takes anything away from what you've achieved, and whether that will make it different back home at all.
Well, I think everyone still knows that I'm a Belarusian player, and that's it.
She takes it pretty well, huh? Honestly, I'd be more livid if I were in her shoes. But seriously, well done. Despite all that crap being thrown her way, she still comes out on top. You guys, again, because we're talking about Australian Open, you guys remember about a year ago, they banned Djokovic from competing because he wasn't vaccinated. And guess what? Guess what just happened? He went back to Australia a year after being, forbidden from competing there. And just, he just killed it in the men's final. It just shows you how silly it is when they try to get rid of these players, because they make them jump through hoops. And honestly, I mean, respect to them, because I don't recall her ever saying that she supports Putin or something, but they still made her remove her flag. I don't remember Djokovic ever saying he's anti-vax, but they still, they made him go through some legal kangaroo court a process and then kicked him out of the country anyway. So even despite all of this drama going on, they still managed to come out on top. I think it's incredible, and it makes such a mockery of these ridiculous rules that Wimbledon come out with, or Australia come out with, because they talk about not politicizing sport, and then when it suits them, they're more than happy to politicize sport. Here at the men's final, right, in the Australian Open, I mean, just look at this, right? They're basically making an issue out of Djokovic's father now, right? Like, so I don't know. The Ukrainian ambassador is saying that his father should be banned because of some Russian flag incident. I don't even know if this is his father really, but he was like filmed outside with people holding a Russian flag. You know why? Because they banned Russian flags. So what was the result of that? People were holding Russian flags outside. And what did you expect? what did you expect, man? Also, what does his father have to do with it? Like, if that's the rule that they made for the Open, his father is not competing in the Open. He's outside. Is he not allowed to hold a Russian flag or outside the tournament? Like, this is so petty. And Zelensky's now going around and he's saying that he wants the International Olympic Committee, so IOC, to ban Russian players and Belarusian players, and he's mad because they won't do it. Okay, so this is January 27th. They said, the IOC said that it favors officially neutral teams from Russia and Belarus. So that's again the same thing with Subdienka, that basically when you go to compete, you're not allowed to have a Russian flag next to your name or a Belarusian flag. You have to compete as neutral. And Zelensky's not happy. He wants Russian and Belarusian players to be barred completely. They're not allowed to come at all, neutral or otherwise, right? He wants to exclude them entirely. Okay, so again, I don't understand what this accomplishes. Go worry about getting jets or tanks or something. What the fuck is banning tennis players gonna get you? This is so childish and dumb. And here, let me show you the difference. This is from Olympic Council of Asia. They are inviting Russian players from Russia and Belarus to take part in the Asian Games. Wait, hold on a second. When was this from? Yeah. They postponed it probably because of the pandemic. That's why it said 2022. So yeah, anyway, this was posted literally a few days ago, and they are accepting Russian and Belarusian players because they're not on the same nonsense as Zelensky. Let me just put it this way: if you're gonna start banning athletes because you don't like what their countries do, this is never gonna end, right? Then you have to apply this standard to American players, British players, French players, German players. Just ban everyone, yeah? Because this is not only stupid, it's not being applied consistently. It's just hypocritical, and it doesn't make any sense.